Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Stand still, that's the motto, yeah. Brand new bands for the auto, oh. Foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy, boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it outbid. Said it, never had to shout it. They said I couldn't ever do it, okay, how's this? Fit a week worth of work in a minute. Machine well oiled, you know how I stay efficient. To-do list written, I do this different. Hold up, wait a minute, I ain't finished. Okay. Look, flows the same now. Paved the way, the snakes and fakes are chased out. Back to back to back, I changed the pace now. Had to stack the cash until the bank's out. Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop.
Well, welcome to our Copilot session today. This is a very catchy song. I don't get tired of this thing, so I've listened to it many times. My name is John Zari. I'm a CEO at the company called Point Alliance. We are IT consulting based out of Toronto. Point Alliance has been a Microsoft partner for many years, and we have designation in many areas, and that's our expertise. And also proud to mention that our team is 100% Microsoft certified. That said, our today's agenda, we just start with the Microsoft AI overview, talk about Copilot chat versus Copilot, get into a bit of about Copilot chat, the Copilot, and talk about some of the futures. And then at last, next step, and the additional resources we can share with you. As I mentioned, at any point, if you have any question, please feel free to post that. We want to make sure this is as collaborative as possible. So AI in 2025, what is happening here? So again, there's no tool out there that they don't mention that they have AI tool availability. And as of 2025, there are 70,000 vendors that they have some AI tool. And the number is increasing because they're all looking for their market share. That said, some of the big players, of course, Microsoft, you got Apple, you got Amazon, Google, Meta, NVIDIA, and of course, Tesla, that even though it's a car company, they are very advanced with the AI. So why would you choose Microsoft 365 Copilot when there are like 70,000 vendors out there? This is the top reasons for it. Again, every organization has a different reason. So I would start with the seamless integration across apps, right? So using Word, Excel, PowerPoint, so on. It's just there. There's no effort involved. By just adding a license, people will be able to use those tools. Personal and secure access, of course. That's very important. Proven productivity outcomes. So we all use the Microsoft products as well, and we know how that's and Copilot will enhance that experience. Modern unified AI experience, and that's important. So we're going from app to app, the experience remain the same. Enterprise security and customization, that's the utmost important reasons to make sure enterprise security is your data is not leaked outside, that data is not used for learning of the vendors and so on, and is secure within your Microsoft tenant. Ongoing innovation and support. Microsoft has put lots of effort into the AI and a Copilot, and this ongoing things. And as we go through a slide, you can see how it started just less than 3 years ago and how it's expanding into the more and more apps. So Microsoft AI overview. So it's not just about the technology, right? So what are we trying to achieve with this? And that's the Microsoft methodology, like I would say. Increasing business value, of course, optimize the cost, and most importantly, help employee thrive to be more efficient and more productive. Based off one of the surveys that's done, people that use Microsoft 365 in the SMB market, which is I would say about sub 500 organization, they're anticipating 353% ROI, return on investment, over a 3-year period. One of the numbers that I think is just people can relate to. Imagine if Copilot can save you 20 minutes a day, right? That's 3 weeks a year that assists you to going to be more efficient. And 20 minutes is very generous. Again, in some cases, you could be way more than 20 minutes they use the Copilot. So transforming your business, of course, 6% increase in the net revenue due to faster to the market for some organization. 20% reduction in the operating cost, and 61%. That's again important increase in the employee satisfaction. That people want AI to be part of the work and they want to use those tools. So with anything good, and also there is a security concern, of course, when you think of AI and how we hear about it all the time. Data oversharing and data leaks, 80% identification of the risky AI use, 41%, and AI governance and the risk visibility, 84. So again, these are big concerns for people, and that's why that Microsoft Copilot can assist you, because you got the security, compliance, and privacy as you are using your Microsoft environment as it is now. So you don't have to really do anything. The security is already in place, hopefully. You have all those boundaries of those things. So what it does by adding the Microsoft Copilot will sit on top of your existing security, so there's no additional effort needed. Of course, there's always housekeeping to make sure, is your environment secure enough? Are you using proper protection? Do you have a multi-factor authentication and so on? But that's all in place, and that's very important here, that you don't have to worry about it. If you, we talk to some customers and they're talking about how about this AI tool. With those things, you have to kind of know so much about. You need to build all the security and boundaries and hooks into the applications. Those things are becoming very, very expensive. Depends on your size. With the Microsoft Copilot, is merely just adding a license and you're good to go. So what is the Microsoft 365 Copilot gives you? The secure data at rest and in the transit. So that's important. You control your data. Your data will never leave your organization, right? So within your Microsoft tenant, everything stays there. Your data is not used to train or enrich a foundation model. Again, that's very important, especially if your organization have information, confidential information, and you worry about those information leaking out. And that's why using the tools, public AI tools, are a big threat to the organization. They protect you against the AI security and copyright risk as well. So they're all built into it as a base. So this is a big picture. I'm not going to go to this one because there's lots going on here in on the Microsoft Copilot architecture. There's a big picture. We're going to concentrate on the flow, that what's happening. That's from 1 to 5. So what is happening? Of course, with the AI tool, the process starts with the prompting, right? You use a prompt to make a request and send it to Copilot or any AI tool. Again, fortunately, the acronym or the names are same for all AI tools, so you hear the prompting a lot. Once you prompt in it, the information, Copilot accesses a Microsoft Graph. A Microsoft Graph is a gatekeeper of within your Microsoft organization to make sure you're accessing the information you have access to, and all what you have access to. Once the Copilot sends a modified prompt to the large language model, Copilot receive a response back, and then number 5, Copilot access Microsoft Graph for the purview and compliance, and that's security again, and the compliance. Should you have access to those information, or for example, you draft an email and you have 5 people on it. If you ask Copilot to provide some information, all those 5 people have access? So that's very important. It will check that if you're responding, make sure only provide the information that all those recipients and that email have access to the information to prevent oversharing. So that's it. We use lots of acronym here. So just let's go through them and just kind of make sure we all have the same fundamental understanding of what it is. So first thing, as I mentioned, the prompt is in Copilot is your instruction or request, right? It is a starting point to tell Copilot what you want when you combine with the grounding and semantic index. And as we're going to explain we have more things to explain now. So now grounding and semantic index. And these are very important because using AI is not searching like a search tools out there and you're requesting. The information is all relative to you, who you are, what information you have access, and so on. So grounding. So grounding in Microsoft 365 means that AI pulls from real relevant context, either from your enterprise environment via graph. As I say, the graph is a gatekeeper of the whole thing, or from the web. Next thing we talk about, the graph, again, is a unified API and data model that connect all Microsoft services and map relationship between people, content, and activities. So again, not that you have to remember all those things, but it's important when you say, my result is different from the person next to me. Why is that? And that's a reason behind it. And that's what makes the Copilot and AI so special. Next thing is semantic index. Again, this is also is very important, is the AI-powered organization brain that maps meanings across your data, enabling Copilot to understand context, reduce hallucination, and deliver accurate and business-aware responses. And we hear about this all the time, large language model, right? LLM. And again, that's common with all those things. So LLM in Microsoft C5 is a powerful AI brain, like a GPT-5. And again, that's like when you hear about ChatGPT, Microsoft is one of those main investor with the Access AI, and they are using that engine as a ChatGPT, and recently has been upgraded to the GPT-5 that interprets your prompts, reason through the Microsoft 365 data, and generate context-aware responses across Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, and more. And the more, again, at the beginning was like a 5 application, and that number is increasing, I would say, on the monthly basis. And what does a GPT stand for, right? We hear those things. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And again, I need to have this thing to remember all those things. Is a type of large language model that can understand and generate human-like text. And again, as I said, we will share the PowerPoint presentation and the videos, and you can have access to this information at a later time. And response. So you start a prompt, goes through all the processes, the result come back, and that's a response. This way, you provide the intent, prompt, Copilot user data grounding, AI engine, LLM, reason out, and you get a business-ready response back.
When you submit a prompt, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 brings in your universe of data via Microsoft Graph. It uses the semantic index for Copilot to correlate activity signals, retrieving indexed information that is uniquely relevant to you. It then presents the combination of your prompt with what was retrieved to the large language model to generate an informed response. Importantly, semantic index for Copilot works on 2 levels. By default, it indexes information within SharePoint inside your organization's tenant. Second, each user also has their own separate index for email and their individual important documents, like files shared with them, where they've commented, or were @mentioned, and more. This 2-pronged approach is what increases relevancy, allowing Copilot for Microsoft 365 to orchestrate AI-generated results that are unique to you as a user based on your explicit access to information.
So again, this was just to give you a bit of foundation at how it works. That does a user need to already know this information? Maybe not, but it is help them to understand that how the whole thing works, and also set the expectation that why when I'm doing a prompt, why the response is not what I'm expecting for, and so on. So that's what it does help. So let's talk about the Copilot chat versus Copilot. So the Copilot chat is available at no cost to everyone that has a Microsoft 365 tenant with any type of, almost any type of license is available there. And that's this was become public to all the tenants, I would say less than a year now. And the reason for it, because for people it's very important that the information is secure. So within the chat, you also have an enterprise data protection in place. And one of the things that we see out there, organizations that do not want to embrace Copilot or any type of AI, they end up with the shadow users. And those are users that are using AI without the organization know. So what that result is that they're using the tools that is not protected and is not secure enough. And there's a handful of, well, I shouldn't say handful, there's a many of them out there. So that's very important, the bare minimum, even if you think I'm not ready to put a Copilot in place, you should look into the chat and how that can help you. That again, when you add a Microsoft 365 license, what that gives you, again, it gives you chat and also give you the, you can work directly from productivity apps like a Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and so on.
Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI companion that helps inform and inspire you with helpful advice, feedback, and answers. There are a few versions of Copilot for you to consider. Let's take a look at Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat and Microsoft 365 Copilot. Copilot Chat is available to businesses that have a Microsoft 365 subscription at no additional cost. With it, you can access features like text generation, image generation, and basic data analysis. Because it's grounded in the web, it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull in relevant information. For example, you can get help with tasks like drafting emails or getting summaries of documents that you upload. Next is Microsoft 365 Copilot, the paid version of Copilot, which gives you all of the functionality of Copilot Chat, plus the ability to access business emails, create Teams meeting summaries, summarize information in Word or Excel, create draft PowerPoint presentations, find information in OneDrive and SharePoint, and more. Finally, Copilot agents are available in both Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Chat. These AI-driven agents can be created and used to connect to your organization's data to automate and execute business processes. With them, you can troubleshoot with customers in real time, or let it handle repetitive tasks like answering commonly asked HR questions. There are agents that are free and agents that are billed based on usage. Now that you know the differences, go ahead and start using Copilot to boost your productivity and streamline your tasks.
So to summarize that that short video, again, Copilot Chat, as I mentioned, is available free, and I encourage everyone to kind of put that in play. At least try it with your organization. Once you get the Copilot license, you get access to the agent, of course, personal assistant across all the Microsoft 365 apps that like Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, and so on. Advanced management to allow you kind of control how it's used. Copilot dashboard to understand users and option. That's very important too, especially if your organization making that investment to give the license to everyone. You want to make sure other people using it properly. Why certain people are not using it as the other ones, and maybe they require additional training to kind of be able to take advantage of it. And again, also have pre-built reports and advanced analytics to quantify the return on investment. So to talk about a couple of more terms we share here, an agent in Microsoft, and again, you hear agent through all AI tools. So thankfully, they are common within all AIs, is a custom-built AI assistant made with a Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is an application that lets you to build the agents that goes beyond general Copilot functionality, and you can set it to go against certain SharePoint site, a task, and you can also create set prompts. So when you share your agent with other users, they have an instruction of how to use it, basically. Next thing, again, Copilot Studio is at no charge once you have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license, and allow you to build and manage the agents within the Microsoft 365. Just if you look at some of the futures here, this pricing are Canadian pricing here, and if, for the US one is slightly less. So and you can see on the chat, they are very similar, and what you have, and agents, of course, you can work with the agents, but use agent the ground in the work or act independently. You can see with those things, they are per consumption. So you could be using a personal assistant is only with the Copilot and also the controls. So let's just dig in a bit into the Copilot chat and how it can help you. So as was mentioned, the chat, you can access it to the browser, and you see this. If you do have a Microsoft 365, you can see the icons are popping up everywhere. You have access to that, agents, and as an organization, you have the IT controls, which is very important.
Copilot Chat gives you free and secure enterprise-ready AI chat powered by GPT-4o in a familiar and consistent interface. Say you work in business planning for an EV charging company, and you're developing the strategy for the year. You start by asking Copilot to do some research on the web. You want some basic information, like how EV charging has grown by region. Copilot is grounded in the web, so it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull the relevant information. Great! Now let's see how these national trends compare to your sales results. With Copilot Chat, you can easily and securely upload files, like your sales data, and have it visualize your regional sales for the past few quarters. And you can continue to iterate with Copilot, like asking it to recommend strategies to help increase sales in lower performing regions. With Copilot Chat, you can quickly gather insights from the web and securely upload and analyze your data, bringing the power of AI directly to your workflow.
Right, so that's a short overview of the chat. So we're gonna go again into the Microsoft 365 Copilot and what that provides you. Again, we shared this earlier. With the Copilot, you have access to the large language model, Microsoft Graph, which is your data, and Microsoft apps, which again, the list is growing, and we talk about this, and of course, internet if you want to access the information. So your AI assistant for work, where can you find it? Again, you can find it across the for a work and a web, inside the application, Copilot Studio plus Agent, and you can see the last slide there, adoption and measurement, which is very important that you have that in your hand. So emphasize on the reason for why would you want to make this investment. So consistent UI for AI. Again, go through all the apps. The same thing as you have the ribbon bar in all the Microsoft application. That also is the same for AI. Integrated to the apps, easy that people use, so they really reduce the training. That you don't have to kind of worry about that. Oh, I need to show them a new app. It is already integrated into their apps. It's a platform for agent and extensibility. Enterprise grade security, privacy, and compliance. So as an organization, that's very important to make sure that is my data secure. That's for the end users, they like more productivity. For the management and organization, they want to make sure is the data secure, is all the privacy and policy and compliance are in place or not. A flexible purchasing and deployment option, you don't have to, is not for all or nothing. You can get that as many people you want to. Maybe part of your organization using just a chat because they don't need all those tools within the productivity app. And maybe there are people that would take advantage of it if they have those things. And you also can measure the AI impact, so you can see the result of it. So initially, the tool was available in the Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Teams, and Excel. Now you can see it being extended into the OneNote, OneDrive, Loop, Whiteboard, Planner, Forms, SharePoint, Clipchamp, and Aviva. And the list is growing. Again, this was the slide is from a few weeks ago. One thing also, when the video was talking about the chat, it mentioned that ChatGPT-4, the video was before that, updated that, so you're also getting much better result back with the chat, with the GPT-5. So as organization, what people are trying with the Copilot. So these are the top 10 that we have here. Recap a meeting is number one. So imagine you have a meeting, you spend lots of time to take notes and also kind of prepare the meetings. Lots of us have the back-to-back meetings and there's no time. So we spend lots of time to kind of trying to recall what's happened in the meeting based on our notes and so on, and trying to send a recap. Now the recap would be available within a minute after the meeting is finished. And it is a great tool. People love that. Of course, like with anything AI, you need to verify the information to make sure it's all accurate, but it does a great job to provide you a recap of the meeting. Second one is summarize an email thread. Imagine you were on holidays, you were away, you come back, your mailbox is full. You can ask the AI Copilot to kind of summarize those things. Not that you're not going to go read through it, but you just want to make sure you can set a priority based off what the result is back. Draft the email. That's great. You can set the tone with it. There is a Copilot coach that you can walk you through what the tone, what you're trying to achieve and so on. It will help you through that. Is fantastic. Summarize a document. If you receive this large document, it's going to take us hours to read it. You want to kind of get a gist of it. You ask Copilot to summarize it. It takes a matter of the second really to come back, and they can use for anything. And I was looking into the pet insurance for myself, and the page it was 70 pages long. And I asked Copilot, tell me what do I need to be worried about this thing? And matter of second, highlighted 4 items that I need to be concerned if I'm gonna go with that insurance. So imagine how long it would take me. And also, I'm not a legal person, a lawyer is gonna understand all those things. So he did dig through at matter of second. Tell me about a project or topic, and that's a great thing. You can search for that. Give me some ideas. Maybe looking for could be anything. Maybe activity or team building. It really helps with that. You are in the Microsoft Word. You need help with writing a document, or maybe respond to RFP. You can reference other document within when you write in that thing. It helps you. You can even say set it based off the last RFP I did, or those things. So it has the same format and all those things. Next one, what did I say? You can just search that by the name, and will search your text, your email, and when I said chat, I shouldn't say text, and with all this communication you had with that person. Number 9 with the Excel is that again, how often we want to trying to kind of write a formula, or we're trying to kind of get a chart, and we're not sure how. Now you can easily, with the help of Copilot, come up with all those things, and you're going to have the sample videos. You're going to see this. It's phenomenal. Translate the message. That's a great thing. You receive a message, you want to quickly kind of understand it. Maybe it's not in your native language. It will help you with that. The other thing that also been added a few months ago to the meetings is a live translation, and it is as the person is talking, you can set the language to your native, and you hear them as their lips is moving, you hear them in your own native language. It's phenomenal what you get with that. So how do we interact with the Copilot? And that's very important, because again, you kind of need to build a relationship with the Copilot or AI for the best result. The better communication, better result back. Again, could be a relationship we have with our partner, could be with a friend. How you can kind of look at that the same way. So it's very important when you're talking to Copilot and providing information on the prompt to be clear and specific. Keep it conversational, just like as you have a friend. I know it's just kind of strange to say, we're having a conversation with a robot, but it is very important. So you want to keep it conversational, and if the result come back, you can also kind of reason behind it and those things. Give an example. If you have a link to something you want, or your information you need, just give an example. That will help. Ask for a feedback. Write legibly. That's all very important to do. Check for accuracy. With anything AI, any tool you use, when the result come back, just don't take it as it is. Look into it. Within a Microsoft 365 Copilot and the chat, you're always going to get reference documents or information from it in the footnote. So check those things. Make sure it went to the right location places. Provide detail. And again, let's just say you're creating a PowerPoint presentation. You provide a good detail for that to kind of get a good presentation back, and be polite. Don't get angry with it, and so on. And don't, of course, don't be vague. Again, the less you input the input, the less useful the result going to be. So that's very important. You put the proper information. Request inappropriate or unethical content, you shouldn't do that. Use a slang or jargon. Don't use a SMS chat messaging type of short forms. Do it in the proper English. Give conflicting instruction to make sure you're clear. Don't say look at the left and no, look at the right, and the same. You just need to give it a good information. When you prompting, let the response come back before you kind of reason or ask for more information. So don't interrupt it or change the topic abruptly. That's it. Let's just look at some of the features. We're only going to look at the 5 main apps here: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook and Teams. And these are all very short videos. And again, some of them, if we go to Excel, for example, the demo, it seems a bit complicated, but the whole goal is that you kind of understand the extent of what the Copilot can do for you. It's not like you need to follow all those things, but you kind of know, oh, I saw it in a video, it did this. So at least what you're trying to do is the right track, and that's what we're trying to achieve here.
With Copilot in Word, you have an invaluable partner working at your side, helping you become a better writer. You will now be able to seamlessly integrate work data directly into your document. Let's use an example where you need to respond to an RFP. To get started, you ask Copilot to reference the latest product specs and mirror the approved format previously used. You had a great meeting on the customer's needs. So you ask Copilot to pull in details from the meeting and chat. Copilot gets to work, creating a plan to craft the document. Within seconds, Copilot executes its plan, automatically attaches a security label to match the source material, and creates your first draft, a task that otherwise may have taken you or someone in your team hours to complete. Now it's time to iterate on Copilot's work. It looks like it didn't include updated pricing for this customer. Let's ask it to reference an email and pull in the discount. The proposal could also use a little more information about your key value propositions, including your certifications and standards. This will look best as a table in your document. Let's add why these certificates are important for retailers. There you go. Now, with the help of Copilot in Word, you have a polished RFP response in the fraction of the time it would have taken for you to do on your own. And you're ready to review and share the document with your team and the customer.
So as you saw within this demo, what they did, again, provide instruction and provide additional resources. And it's so easy to do. As you type in the Copilot AI dialog box, as you do /, you don't even have to know where they think. Just type the name of the files or document or email that you have. It will give you the list of what that's fine with that. So it's super fast. And again, when you started from the Word, you just open a Word, you saw it was blank. Instruction, reference to it, and so on. And again, this example, I've done it many times. This is as anyone can do this thing, and you will really, it will save you hours of time.
Copilot in Excel makes anyone a data analyst. Say you want to understand annual revenue trends, how each product is selling, which categories are performing best, and what's driving sales. To do that, you need to bring together data on product sales, pricing, and customer feedback. First, you import your data sources. Now you have a workbook with all the raw data you need in one place, and you can use Copilot to shape and analyze the numbers. Let's start by figuring out which category of your business is driving the most revenue. You know how to calculate that, but this sheet has 3 years of sales data, with thousands of rows showing sales by product by month. So while it's a routine task, this much data can be unwieldy. You can ask Copilot to quickly calculate monthly revenue by product. It knows how to do that, and which data to reference across tabs. Copilot creates a plan for how it will run those numbers, executes that plan, showing its work as it goes, and prompts you to ask questions or iterate on the solution it reached. It looks great, so you're ready to add that column to your spreadsheet. Now a new ask has come in, and you need to understand how each product category is performing and ensure that you are selling at least 100K in product in each category per month. Let's start by comparing sales by category. You ask Copilot to create a simple bar chart so you can quickly see which product categories are selling the best. And with conditional formatting, it highlights the product lines that aren't meeting the $100,000 minimum threshold, so you know where to focus. Now that we know which products aren't selling well, let's dig a little deeper and see what we can learn from the customer feedback. Copilot in Excel can now reason over text, like this raw customer data. Copilot analyzes all the customer feedback from the past quarter and surfaces the top 3 concerns. It looks like charging speed might be an emerging issue. Let's ask Copilot to highlight customer reviews that mention charging speed. Now, with the help of Copilot, you've taken a complex, disparate data set and quickly analyzed it, giving you a full picture of your revenue trends that you can bring to the upcoming business review.
So our next demo is on the PowerPoint. But just before I go to it, so there's 2 things happening with the PowerPoint. In a master template, there are some settings set, and also this organization has a document library for all the images. So again, those easily can be done for any organization. So as that's all you need to be done beforehand, you'll be able to kind of have this presentation done in
Copilot
your
in PowerPoint
situation.
is your creative partner as you iterate and co-create to develop your presentation. Let's say you're a sales lead getting ready to pitch a new retail customer. You ask Copilot to create a compelling pitch deck in your company template that shows how your product will attract shoppers and keep them in the store longer. Now, with Copilot in PowerPoint's new narrative builder, you are in creative control. It starts with a draft outline, where you can reorder the flow, delete topics you don't want, or add new ones, and ensure you've got a solid outline before creating a presentation. Let's add a section on our key value props tailored to customer insights. And another section with customer testimonials. Within seconds, you have a content outline, and you're ready to start on your presentation. Copilot makes a plan for creating the slides and executes it, crafting the titles and draft copy, pulling in images from your corporate library, and applying your company's PowerPoint template so the presentation is on brand. Now you're ready to iterate with Copilot as your partner. It looks like this slide could use an image. You tell Copilot what you're looking for, and within seconds, it provides several options from your company's approved image library. Copilot can also provide AI-generated images using Designer and DALL-E 3. Now that you've selected a photo, PowerPoint gives you several slide design options aligned to your company brand guidelines to choose from. You can keep iterating, but let's see what Copilot has helped you build so far. It added speaker notes to every slide, built slide transitions, and added animations, giving you a professional-looking presentation that's on brand. With Copilot as your design, writing, and editing partner, you can focus on nailing your pitch.
All right, I hope you liked that demo. Again, anyone can do this thing. Was not much into it. Provide some sample, some input for it, and some reference document, and you have this beautiful presentation in place.
Managing your inbox can feel like a full-time job. But now, Copilot in Outlook can help you prioritize what's in your inbox. It analyzes all your emails using both the content of your messages and the context of your job, like who your manager is and who's on your team, to highlight what's most important. You can then sort by priority based on Copilot's analysis. Let's take a look at this email from a new customer, Tailwind Traders. When you select it, Copilot shows you why it thinks it's significant and highlights what action you need to take. This is a key customer for the next few months, so you teach Copilot that all emails mentioning them are a top priority. Now Copilot knows to prioritize any email from Tailwind Traders. Copilot is your partner, helping you manage your inbox so you don't miss what's most important. Now let's switch to Outlook Mobile. You have to run to a meeting, but you don't want to leave the customer hanging, so you need to draft the response on the go. We're making it even easier to be productive on your phone with Copilot in Outlook. Copilot analyzes the email and offers some suggested responses. Now all you have to do is pick one as your starting point and instruct Copilot on what else to add. Copilot generates the solid draft, and it's ready for editing. Because this is going to a customer, you want to make it more formal, so you ask Copilot to adjust the tone. You can easily flip through the options and select which version you like the best. The second paragraph could also use an update. You can edit it yourself or ask Copilot to help. Let's highlight the relevant section and tell Copilot what you want to include. Once you're happy with the edits, you can accept the changes and your email is ready to send.
All right, and this is our last video. Again, the most favored app.
Copilot in Teams can now reason over both the meeting transcript and the meeting chat to give you a complete picture of what was discussed. You meet as a team to discuss the customer's RFP. As the meeting wraps, you think you might have missed some questions in the chat. Often the best ideas and the most thoughtful questions happen in the chat. Now, Copilot in Teams captures this valuable, higher bandwidth conversation. Let's open up Intelligent Recap and ask Copilot if you missed any questions. It quickly scans what was said and what was in the chat, looks for questions, and checks if any were left unanswered. Now you have a list of any open questions without having to scroll back through the chat. With the help of Copilot in Teams, you can quickly and easily stay on the same page with your team.
And this is very powerful. Just to kind of touch on some stuff, on the left side, you can see that the participant that they were on the call and the activity. In the middle, you have meeting notes. On the bottom, you have the follow-up text that you can use. And you can see when you can just copy that information to your email or a Word document. And also always says generated by AI, be sure to check for accuracy. That's very important. And also all the content and create the chapters there as well. So it is very powerful with that and massive time saving. That's it. I want to thank you all for attending today's session. So what is next? We do have a Microsoft Copilot Readiness Assessment. You can check on our website. And I mentioned we will share this one with you via email shortly. There are additional information here, resources, and you will have, if you're more interested, there are some click-throughs that you can also use that we will have at the PDF document, have a live links on it. And lastly, if you did enjoy this presentation and you find it beneficial, please scan the QR code, and we'd love to get your 5-star review on the Google. That's it. Thank you again. Have a wonderful Friday, and thank you for joining our session today.